I have a stowaway in my garage. That just about terrified me. Trying to pull my seedlings out and there's a possum in there. Oh my gosh. I saw my seedlings looking destroyed when I opened the garage and I thought, that's weird, maybe one of the cats was stuck in here and trying to get out, but I saw a possum on the camera last night and I came out here and chased it off because I've had possums getting into my chicken coop, but they won't go in the traps. They'll steal the food out of the trap and set it off and then not get caught. And so I saw a possum on the camera even after I had closed the garage, so I thought, oh, it's not in there. Well, apparently that means there's 2 possums running around here. Perfect. That could not have gone any better than that. Okay, perfect. There's also apparently been a skunk around here lately because every night I come home, I smell skunk spray. And it stinks like skunk spray this morning. Not close enough that it's like my animals got sprayed or anything like that, but close enough that it's probably in the woods around my house. My poor seedlings. That one is like completely snapped. So is that one. Ugh. It's so sad. That possum must have got up on top of my seedlings and just trampled them. Look at it. That's really upsetting, actually. That's really upsetting because these have been growing for a couple weeks now and I was really excited about having these in the garden in like 2 weeks. So that stinks. I've gotten this area all cleared out. We are going to plant some hull-less oats in here. This is going to be a first one for me. We're going to see how it does. Just going to sprinkle it in here. And then cover it up. And just put a really thin layer of mulch back on top of it. Just to kind of protect it a little bit, but not suffocate it. I also have on my list, I need to get planted more spinach and carrots, cilantro and parsley. I need to start my tomatoes in pots to stay inside until we're past our last frost date. I need to separate peppers. I have to look through my book and see what else I need to start. But those are the things we're going to start planting today. I'm going to leave some space between this section with our oats, and then I'm going to peel back some more mulch and get our cilantro planted in there. Let's get that cleared out. All right, that's as good as it's getting for right now. I got that pile out and that pile out. I'm sure there's still more in here, but that's all I'm getting out for right now. You planting your seeds? You're doing such a good job this year, Ellie. Yay, good job. High five.
Uh-oh, my gloves.
Are you marking what plant we planted?
Yes.
Let me see. Perfect. All right, which one are we going to put it in?
The
Awesome. Good job.
X.
You made an S? These are our bell peppers.
X.
Yep, you want to make some more? Okay. If you're wondering what's on her lip, she got my mascara and decided to paint herself a little bit with my mascara.
D.
Beautiful. Can you put that one in there? Oh, you need some help? I love these markings for our peppers. Perfect. Thanks. Familiarizing yourself with each plant's specific needs will really help you succeed in the garden. For example, parsley and cilantro need to be planted in the ground before our last frost. They need that exposure to the cold to help them germinate. Something else like peppers, they don't like being anywhere under 50 degrees. So you want to make sure that if you are starting them, you're putting them in pots that you can bring back inside before our last frost date, because they have a long growth period. So we need to start them very early, way before it's time for them to go outside. There are several different methods you can use when you're starting seeds, especially if you're short on space. One of the ways I like to do it is to start a lot of seeds in one pot so that it's less pots that I have to be carrying in and out when the temperatures overnight are still getting fairly cool. Or you can plant one in each pot. Now, I did a mixture of both. There are some things that I did multiples of and some things that I only put one in each pot, but I need to go through and separate these out and get them all their own little containers. I'm going to reuse some of these containers where something didn't sprout and just spread it out. When I use this method of putting extra seeds in a pot, it's really to save me time and to save me space. I only have one grow light and I can fit 2 trays under one grow light full of plants. So by having them more in a pot, especially at the beginning, it gives me a little bit of extra time before I'm having to worry about running out of room for my plants. But it's a really simple process. So I'm just going to take these other tags out of these pots that didn't sprout. And I'm just going to make a little hole in the middle here for our seedling to go. Yeah, we'll just put that there. So then you want to be very careful that you are not going to break your seedlings. I like to find a spot where I can support the soil but not be putting any kind of bending on my seedlings. And then we're just going to plop it over. And again, I was holding it right there like that when I plopped it. And then you just very gently kind of let the soil fall apart. There's one of our seedlings just fell out all on its own. So then we just very gently put it into its own pot by itself. And these are the Champagne Bubbles cherry tomatoes. They make a really pretty yellow cherry tomato. It was my grandpa's favorite tomato, so I love growing this one in my garden. And just very gently put it in. And usually when I do this, I'll put these in the shade for a day so that they can get over the shock of being, you know, pulled out and replanted. It's good to give them a little bit of time. Grab a couple more pots here. And I do like to reuse my soil. I don't chuck it, especially if it's like I just got this soil for this year. It's still very good soil. I'm hoping next year to be able to use all of my own compost and not have to buy any bagged soils. I might have to still buy like vermiculite, maybe peat moss or coconut coir, but it would cut down cost a lot to make my own potting mix. Okay. Alright, now we just got this last little seedling here. Let me see if I have one more empty pot. Use this one. I'm hesitant to use any of the empty pepper ones yet because I still have some that are sprouting, even though they were planted a couple weeks ago. So I don't want to accidentally get rid of a seed that's going to grow. Okay. Put our last tomato in this one. Give it a little bit more soil in here too. Hold on. Just pulled it back out. Oh my goodness. All right. And now we just divided that one pot of cherry tomatoes into 5, but you can see how having all of these in one pot saves you a lot of space under your grow light, or if you're having to carry trays in and out, that saves you a lot. Now from just those 3 cups, we have 3/4 of a tray of cherry tomatoes. Let me show you this real quick. So these ones sat in the sun for like 5 minutes while I went to grab more cups, and look how sad they were sitting in the sun for 5 minutes. This is why I recommend putting them in the shade. These ones were done in the shade, straight in the shade. Keep them in the shade when you are splitting them, potting them up, doing that kind of thing, and then give them 24 hours to be in the shade before you put them back in the sun. Our spinach, that's a spinach, and our carrots, these little tiny ones are carrots over here, are looking good. They're all coming up. It took them a bit to come up. So I'm going to plant more down the rest of this row. Probably not going to do that today because I'm going to run out of time. I really want to get this video up for you guys because it's been like 2 weeks since I had a video up. But the last thing I'm going to do today is plant these purple peas. The last thing I'm going to do today before I get this up for you guys is plant these purple peas. My back garden here is usually reserved for things that I want to save seeds from, things that I'm running low on, or are varieties I haven't saved seeds from before. So this is just a second. This is a variety that I had planted from a different company. I had blue peas from a different company, and we had early frost or late frost or something happened where they didn't make it. So I got them this year again. So what I'm going to do is plant them all along the fence line here, and then they will use this fence to climb. Might have to weed first. This garden is not getting enough attention.
Okay. Okay, Mommy.
I started working on it in the fall,
Okay, Mommy.
and then I do not like the cold, so... Oh, I just picked up a Thai basil. Oops, that's not supposed to get dug up.
Okay.
Put that back in there. Actually, that might be a bee balm. The bee balm and the Thai basil, I don't know why, but they look really similar to me, and I get them confused. Oops, but that might be a bee balm, actually. There was a bunch of them that sprouted up in here on their own last year. All right, so we're gonna put these in 4 inches apart, it says. And these are called King Tut Purple. Oh, these are big. Hope there's no ants in here. Yeah, ants. Ants are awful, aren't they? Never used to be scared of ants until I lived here. Up north, the ants don't bite you. I used to have containers, like little terrariums, that we had made out of old fish bowls and have like crickets and ants and slugs and all kinds of stuff in there. I don't think my parents were too fond of that craze. There was one time I remember I wasn't supposed to be bringing them in the house, and so I hid my terrarium under my bed, and then I completely forgot that it was there until like several months later. Whoops. Okay. See if we have enough time to get these in the ground before we have to go. I need to put something here so I remember where I started. And the ground is pretty soft back here. The raised bed back here is pretty good soil. So all I'm doing is putting the seed on the ground and then just pushing it in a little bit and then patting it back over. Careful. Yes, dear.
Help.
Give me just a minute, baby.
Mommy. Mommy, help. Mom, this didn't work. Oh, kitty. Kitty, right here.
All right, so I'm gonna try to get the rest of the way around this garden. Hopefully I can get the peas that I need to plant in the front garden done too. I may run out of time today because I do have to work tonight. So we're gonna see how much I can get done. I feel like I'm already super behind. We're probably fine, but I always feel like I'm super behind when it comes to planting every year. No matter how much I try to be on top of it, it's just, there's a lot that needs done. Maybe next year I'll do like a work day where I have people come over and help plant stuff in exchange for teaching them how to plant stuff. That might be a good idea. So, what are you guys planting? Do you feel like you're behind? I'll be right there.
Mama, please.
Let me know what you're planting. Do you feel like you're super behind too? Is it just me? How's the weather where you are? Let me know. I'd love to chat.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you next time.